Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Daily Craig Sports Show. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is Thursday, June 3rd. I'm located here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. I got a little rain outside, but should clear up a little bit later on today. And I thank you so much for joining me. The whole goal of this show is to give me an opportunity to kind of continue what I've done with the Daily Craig, which is a video daily vlog where I really kind of showcase what's going on in my life, my family's life, things like that. And really what I want to do with the sports show is really give some insight and opinions on what's going on in the sports world. If you know me, you know I like to talk, you know I have opinions. So I figured I'm going to try every morning to pass along a few pieces of information from my perspective and what I think about, and hopefully you enjoy it. There's going to be some things you agree with, some you do not. I just ask that you be respectful. I love the open dialogue. I love communicating with people. Let's have a nice debate. But at the end of the day, let's make sure we're respectful to each other. So let's take a look. Excuse me. What happened yesterday in the world of sports? There was some NBA playoffs. Let's talk about that first. Mavericks beat the Clippers last night. Luka had a gigantic game. Being from Indianapolis here, I'm a big Pacers fan, so watching Playoff P not win title after title is a little okay with me. Excuse me. I'm kind of okay with him struggling a little bit. I feel like Paul George forced his way out, obviously, and not a big fan of his. So I'm perfectly fine with the Mavericks hopefully sending the Clippers packing. The Hawks beat the Knicks last night. The funniest thing that happened was Reggie Miller called out Spike Lee because Spike Lee left early. Reggie said something to the fact of Spike knows more than anybody not to leave early because magic happens here. I think it was 20 to 25 years ago. Reggie had his magical end of the game explosion of points. It was awesome. I remember it all thinking that the game was over, and then Reggie just single-handedly led the blue and gold back to a win there at the Garden. So that's, a couple things what's going on in the NBA. The Sixers knocked out the Wizards. We'll talk more NBA as we get further along. But again, the Pacers are struggling. They played whatever that was, the little playoff round to get in, did not make it. Who knows if their coach is going to be back. They got a lot of questions with Miles Turner. So we'll talk NBA later on. But I guess we'll keep talking NBA because one of the biggest stories is Brad Stevens stepping away from coaching and taking over for Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is retiring. So here in Indianapolis, in Indiana, the big thing that happened was a few months ago, obviously, IU basketball had to get a new coach. And everybody in town thought it's Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens can come take the job. It's his if he wants it. And there's so many different rumors out there. Who knows what's true? One rumor is that he talked to them but then stepped away. One that he wasn't interested at all. This fact that he is saying, I don't want to coach anymore, and he's stepping away, really proves to me that he really wasn't even interested at all in the job. It also is really interesting what would have happened if he really thought about it further and took the job. Would he still want to step away? Does he just want to step away from the NBA? Does he want to step away from the travel? What does he really want to do? And ultimately, it's the Celtics. That's one of those high-profile mecca jobs in the league, in the association. So he's already done it with the coaching side. Some say he has not reached expectations. Some say he has. He's never got to the finals, never won a championship, so probably has not hit expectations. But now it's his time to run the team, be the president. And this takes him off the road. It gives him more of a chance to build it, do what he really wants to do with the blueprint and put his finger on it even more. But it's really something that's really, really fascinating because I want to know what would have happened if he really explored IU or other jobs out there. Was the coaching that he just didn't want to coach in the NBA? Was it that he just doesn't want to coach anymore? Does he just want to break? I mean, that was always the rumor around here was, Brad Stevens is going to take a break and then he's going to go to a high-profile college job. And that kind of leads us to the next story. Coach K is retiring at the end of this year. They're claiming that John Shire is going to be their coach in waiting and he's going to take over. Excuse me. And those that are watching the videos, you can see I've got my Carolina sweatshirt, Carolina behind me. I'm a Carolina guy. So I do not really care for Coach K. I'm really happy that he's getting out of there. I just wonder if Duke's going to get all the calls like they have with Coach K. So that's kind of a smart aleck jab. But congrats to Coach K. It's a great career. Obviously, he and Roy and he and Dean had some fantastic battles down there on Tobacco Road. I just, being one of your rival schools, don't really care for the guy, but I understand he's been very, very successful. He's done a lot of great things, and he's truly built a crazy, awesome program down there. So John Shire is supposed to be the guy to take over. I truly believe that's going to happen, but what happens if Brad Stevens, three-fourths of the way during the season, let's say it gets Christmas, springtime, he wants to think about coaching again? Well, is he going to boot the person out for Boston that he just hired after 1 year? Is he going to go to another NBA job? Is he going to come back and take over at Duke? I don't think he's going to come back to college unless it's one of those top 4 or 5 jobs, right? My Tar Heels, the GOAT, Roy, just retired, so now we've got Hubert Davis. Really happy and excited about that. But the IU job's been filled. Carolina's been filled. What else is out there? Is Coach Cal leaving? Probably not. Bill Self? Probably not. I mean, you look at those top 4 or 5 jobs, and that's where Brad Stevens would go if he's leaving to come back to college. So is he going to stick around? This Duke opening is really, really interesting. John Shire will be the coach in waiting. He will be right next to Coach K all year. I'm guessing Coach K might miss a few games here and there just to give John a chance to take over. And John Shire's never coached before, so it's going to be an interesting thing where he's got the keys to a Ferrari, and hopefully for his sake he can keep it going. Hopefully on my sake for Carolina, he struggles a little bit. Hubert teaches him what's up. I've got the same situation with my team. Hubert Davis has never coached before, and he's got the keys to the Maserati. So really, really interesting world of basketball, what's going on out there. I really think that the Brad Stevens thing, that's a story that's really, really, really interesting, because I just mentioned it, but I really want to know what he would have done if he really explored one of these big college jobs, or what happens if he actually took one of those jobs. It would have been really interesting to see where he would have gone with that. Another thing here in Indianapolis is obviously Indianapolis 500 just finished up this past weekend. Helio Castroneves won his 4th. He's in the Mount Rushmore, the glorified heir of the 4 winners club. He, Al Unser, Rick Mears, and AJ Foyt. And it was a crazy fast race. There was only a couple cautions. I mean, at the end of the day, 3 cars didn't finish. One big accident. Graham Rahals tire did not get on during a pit stop, so he spun out, hit the wall pretty hard. He's okay, fortunately. But it was all fuel strategy. It was a fast race. It was a gorgeous day, not a cloud in the sky. We did not go to the race this year. We decided to hold back and just watch it on TV. And that's another thing with the 500 is here locally, the blackout was lifted. So if you live in Indianapolis, you can't watch the 500. There's a blackout in place, which means they want you to buy tickets to go to the race. Well, the last 2 years, they've lifted that blackout because last year, obviously, nobody could go. The race was held in August. This year, there was a cap number of 150,000 people that could get in the speedway, so they showed the race here locally. And the numbers were huge. The numbers nationally were, I think it was the highest rated 500 in the last 5 years, going back to the 100th running. So the question is, do we really need to have the blackout in place? Are people going to all go back to the track when it opens up? And this is really a big debate here in Indianapolis. It's been going on for a long time. Me personally, I used to like the blackout. You turn the TV on if you don't go. You turn the TV off, you turn the radio on, you listen to the IMS radio crew. They're fantastic. They make it more exciting than anything. There were times on Sunday where I put the radio on and muted the TV and really felt their excitement and the passion and made the race even more interesting and more fun. But I don't think the blackout needs to be there, because as people are starting to go back to real life, people are flocking to these events. The Speedway says 150,000 people were in there. I think it might have been a few more than that. It just looked like it was absolutely crazy in the Speedway. So I personally think you lift the blackout, you open up as many tickets as you can, people will start to get there. Next year is going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be packed. So lift the blackout, let people watch it, and hopefully this is giving people a chance to watch it in 2021 and say we're going to go to the race in 2022. So I really think excuse me, I really think that that's something that's really, really, really interesting, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But Helio had a fantastic day, won his 4th race. It was awesome. It was fun just to sit around and watch it with the family. I usually take my older son that's 12 to the race. He was a little disappointed we didn't go, but it was exciting to watch it at home. Other than that, we got a lot of baseball going on. The Dirty Cubs just swept the Padres. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, so again, Cubs not my favorite. It seems like all I'm doing today is talking about teams that I hate. But the Reds are all over the place. We were able to go to a game a few weeks ago where there was a capacity at 25% or 30 or something, and it was absolutely amazing. There was no lines. We walked right in. I understand we want all these stadiums to get back to normal, and we really want that and need it, because especially with the sports, the fans and the stadium atmosphere is amazing. But man, it was awesome to have nobody else really in a row in a section. It was really a lot of fun. Another thing that's happening right now is 31 of the 32 NFL teams are allowing full capacity, except my Indianapolis Colts. Marion County in Indianapolis is trying to get to 50% with the vaccination level. Right now, I think they're at 30 or 35. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully it's something where they get to that number where they can allow full capacity. It just stinks that we're not going to have full capacity. And when we go on the road, I say we like I'm a member of the team, but when the Colts go on the road, they're going to be at a disadvantage because these stadiums are going to be packed. And I know Lucas Oil Stadium gets really loud, but if you can add 10 to 15 more thousand people in there to get it to capacity, that makes a huge difference. So hopefully all that works out. We've still got some time before opening weekend, so hopefully that works out. But that's really it. The news of the day. Trae Young with his bow to Madison Square Garden. I'm just looking at the headlines, what's going on. But the Coach K news is huge. Obviously, we're still talking Aaron Rodgers. We're not even going to touch on that because at this point, he's going to be a Packer. I don't think he's going to be happy, but he's going to be a Packer, and we'll see what happens. It's going to get real interesting. Of course, he's missing OTAs, but you could kind of say that was going to happen. What's going to happen when training camp comes? Is he going to really be there then, all in? What's going to happen? But the Brad Stevens news is huge. We'll continue to look at that. We'll continue to watch Coach K. And a lot of this is going to develop over the next few months. There's not anything that we're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my gosh, this happened. We'll continue to see what's going on in the NBA. NFL is going to be ramping up here soon. A little take on the Colts. I really, really wanted them to get Matt Stafford. Excuse me. I thought Matt Stafford would be awesome here, but I understand Matt wanted to go to the Rams. It's all good. The Colts got Carson Wentz, and I think that's a pretty good consolation prize. He and Frank Wright hopefully are going to get back like how they were before. It'll be awesome. The question is, who is he going to throw the ball to? Because the Colts receivers are good, but could they use a Julio Jones? Is T.Y. Hilton not going to be double and triple teamed? There's a lot of things going on. Michael Pittman Jr. is fantastic. Can he continue to progress and get better? So hopefully the Colts really kind of take that next step. The thing that I like is the locker room, it sounds like, is an amazing place. It seems like from the videos last year, Phillip Rivers stepped in with no problems. It seems like Carson Wentz stepped in with no problems. There was a video of them out at OTAs outside with the basketball hoop, and he and Mo Alley Cox were the last two in knockout, and it seemed like the team was rallying around both of them. So I think they've got a good one. Obviously Carson can sling it all over the place. It's just making sure that they put him in a good situation. He's got a great offensive line. He's got a great running back, stable back there, great tight end. So hopefully they can continue to work with their receivers. And I'm not saying the receivers are, not up to standard or anything. They're really good. It's just, can they add more? Can they do more? Julio Jones in this offense would be amazing. I understand the contract is crazy, but I understand why they're not doing it, because they have to pay these young guys coming up. So it's an interesting situation. OTAs continue here and there. JJ Watt put a lot of stuff out. He's with the Cardinals. It seems like he's kind of been rejuvenated as well. So we'll see what's going on. I hope you enjoy your Thursday. As I said, it's rainy here in Indianapolis right now. Hopefully we get that cleared up, and we've got maybe some Little League baseball to get to tonight. So Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you have a great day. Tomorrow, I promise I'll try to not have this frog in my throat. I know that's been annoying, me clearing my throat, but I thank you so much for your patience and being part of episode 1 here. I'm really thankful for everything. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on all of your different podcast outlets. And thank you so much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.